Do not forget it. What is up? We are BTR Beyond the Ropes.
Oh,
this
shit.
is
I was late on that
Bell to Bell. You're Bell to Bell. I am one of your hosts, Randy, aka Randizzo. And again, on the ones and twos, we're continuously figuring it out.
Yes.
Retro Relapse, aka Fernando. What is up,
Hey,
hombre?
man. Slowly, little by little, we're trying to figure this out, and I think I'm getting the hang of this, kind of. But, hey, man, not that bad of a lag. I'm good.
There you go. There you go. But before we get there, you go, a little Eel Sky action there. But before we get into it, make sure to like, subscribe, hit that little bell to get notified whenever we drop new episodes on whatever podcast platform you watch or listen to. And of course, with the socials at Beyond the Ropes 210. What is good, man? Another week of wrestling. A lot of wrestling, actually. You know, so much wrestling that I got sidetracked. I watched the majority of it. I think I watched it all. But
Well,
it's a lot of stuff
I'm
going
going to
on.
have to rely on you a little bit because I've been a little bit busy with some stuff outside of the podcast, home wise, but doesn't mean I didn't really not watch. I did watch some of Raw. I did catch up on Dynamite today. So yeah, you're gonna have to kind of fill me in on some of the things that I'm missing out on. But I know the stories are progressing. I know things are starting to warm up and get hot because we're coming into the spring. But not only that, we're also churning and burning down the road to WrestleMania and Dynasty for AEW.
Not only Dynasty, but you got the biggest show of them all, our Super Bowl, our NBA championship, our MLB World Series, and that, of course, is WrestleMania, and that is
Brother.
literally a couple of weeks away. I think we're like 3 weeks down, so we're getting
25
we're
days to WrestleMania. WWE is pushing for ticket sales with the promotion. Use 25 days to get 25% off your tickets to go see the show.
damn.
Can you
So
believe that?
I believe it. I do because you know what? Unfortunately, it feels like this year the stories kind of progressed a little too late. A little too late. So it is a scramble. It always is. As crazy as it we may not. I know we're not insiders, but as crazy as it may sound, it always is a scramble, right? And I think your common denominator why there wasn't ever such a scramble in the past couple of years was Roman Reigns is the main event. I mean, no surprise he's in the fucking main event this year as well, one of them. But that's what it has been.
Wait a minute.
And Cody
Are
Rhodes.
you
Cody Rhodes.
saying that CM Punk and Roman Reigns are the main event? Is that what you're telling me?
I'm saying it without saying it because I will not say it. You know.
But that's what you're telling me. Are you telling me that?
I'm not. I'm not telling you that. I said main event. I didn't say what night. I said it's one of the main events.
The main event.
One of the main
the show?
events. One of the main events.
It is the main event, sir. And it is the draw. And it is the business. And it is what's going to happen.
Well, we'll continue to find out how these stories progress, regardless, because Randy Orton is making a fucking case for himself. He is after number 15, and he made a point when he beat the fuck out of Matt Cardona to prove a point to Cody Rhodes that, hey, guess what? The voices in my head told me I'm going and getting number 15 at WrestleMania. So there is some story. There is a, dare I say, a legacy behind this story. And we're inching our way because although there is other main events, you also got the women. We can't forget about the women. The women Royal Rumble winner and the Elimination Chamber winner. But it seems to be, yeah, I've been drinking. But it seems like we've already. I mean, you already established it. Whether Cody and Randy are night one or night two, and whether CM Punk and Reigns are night one, night two, we kind of have an idea. We know that they're going to be the main event, regardless of what night it is. They're going to be the main event. So I'm wondering if the women are going to be opening the show or they're going to follow somebody, because you also have other sub stories like Oba, Femi, and Brock Lesnar. This whole thing with Seth Rollins and Paul
I
Heyman.
was reading something that Brock Lesnar is not going to be around for a long time. So there is a good, really good possibility that he will be passing the torch through Oba.
And it makes sense. He's probably the most believable right now, the way they're building him, at least, right? Because as much as people might want to say, not say it, Brock is putting this kid over. Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
He allowed him to fucking powerbomb him and then put his foot on him. And then this past Monday, he allowed him to throw him out the fucking ring and kind of just give him the business. So
Let me ask you something, because I had something weird happen to me while watching Raw. I don't watch it right away. Sometimes I don't have the luxury to watch it right when it starts. So, like this past Monday, I couldn't. And when I hit play from beginning, it didn't play from the beginning. Did you have that issue rewatching Raw?
no, it started off right away. Like it just kicked off like right into it. So I didn't see any delay.
When I was watching it, when we were watching it here at home, it started off with Becky Lynch. It didn't show what happened in the very beginning with
they didn't
the
give you like the
Usos coming out
breakdown. The
and all that.
breakdown.
Yeah,
Really?
it started right with Becky Lynch talking a whole bunch of mess, like her entrance. So I was like, that's not right. And then when the show was over, it started it over again, and then I got to see everything else, because when it starts off is the then now forever pop up
Yeah,
that shows
yeah.
all the wrestlers of then now and forever whatever, the little vignette, and then it goes into them talking. Hey, we're over here in this city this time, and we got these things going on. It shows all the wrestlers backstage walking, whatever. Hey, so and so's on the show, whatever. None of that. That's why I was like, Netflix having some issues there. Is that the WWE live feed having little issues there? What's up?
You would think that on the watch back it would have been fixed, but who knows? Maybe because I watched it 2 days later that it was fine.
Okay. Oh, when you watched the AEW pay-per-view, did you have issues? I bought it on HBO Max because I have HBO Max, and I could not get it on my TV. I could not get HBO Max working on my TV to watch the pay-per-view. Couldn't even see the pre-show. The pre-show was on YouTube also, thank God. So we got to see it there, but we couldn't see it on HBO Max. It was having streaming issues. That the fact that I couldn't do it on the app on the TV, that I actually had to use my computer monitor and do it on the website.
Interesting. Maybe there's been a little bug for these platforms who are not ready for the amount of eyes they're going to be on these pay-per-views or TVs or whatever. So this might be a fucking is it not premonition? What's the word? A preference to a preference? I don't know. Of what might come during WrestleMania, because there might be a delay on these WrestleMania events. Quick question: are we on a delay? Because I see us on a delay.
Not as far as I can see on the things I have here. I know on Facebook Live we're on delay.
But like a delay, like a lag delay, or just a delay?
Facebook Live has like a few seconds delay.
But I'm saying, is there a lag, not a delay? Like it's choppy. Is it choppy?
No, clear picture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then this is my shitty internet. So just a heads up, if you see me, like, that's all it is.
Okay, because I don't have the volume up on my phone. I have it on my phone.
No, we sound clear. Like, we sound clear. It's the video. That's why I was curious. Obviously,
yeah, I'm pretty sure
you're running. Yeah, you're running the ones and twos, so I can't see that back end. And I'm only asking because the times I have seen it clear on my end, you say it's choppy. I never saw it. So
no,
just to make sure.
Everything's immaculate over here. Could I say that word today? Immaculate. It's just immaculate over here.
But, and before we get into it, I've been drinking this company called All Hands. Maybe they'll sponsor us one day. But they make vodka and tequila drinks. This vodka drink is 11%, and the tequila one I drink is 14%. And they don't taste like Four Locos, ain't like that malt liquor stuff. But damn it, is it delicious?
You ever see? I can't remember who did the spoof on it. Somebody did a spoof on it where it's Family Guy, where I guess the dad's an alcoholic, and then he went ahead and changed drinks, and he's drinking
You'll
just
never know.
pure.
Yeah.
It's pure vodka in a can, and he just drinks one can a day, and he just gets hammered on the couch, and
That's my favorite, dude.
they'll never know.
His wife's like, "Honey, I'm so proud of you. You've only had one drink," and he's like, "You'll never know."
Just
He's fucking drinking it like this.
straight up shit facing. They'll never know. Yeah.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel.
When I saw it say vodka soda, I was like, oh fuck.
And it is delicious. And hopefully, I'm going to reach out to all hands because I'm all hands on deck for this fucking drink. It's delicious.
What does it say? Where they hail from?
Where they reside from?
Where they brew from?
They brew from. I can't see. I'm blind as fuck. All it says is alcohol. Oh, it's from. Hey, what do you know? Guess where it's from?
Tell me.
It is the great state of fucking Texas.
There you go.
Right? Bing. I can see it.
Nice. Texas, USA. But, so we pinpoint the state. Can we get any closer?
Let me see. I'm 3 deep. Houston, Texas.
Hey, let's go.
So there you go. A little coastal beer.
Yeah.
I'm going to be coasting after I drink this here in a little bit.
I believe it. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
Hey. But you know who said
Tell me.
CM Punk told fucking Roman Reigns, you're my young boy.
That's right.
And the Usos are your young boy. And you need to, when you talk to me, you need to look me in the fucking face because I'm the fucking show. This Netflix Monday Night Raw, it ain't the Roman Reigns show. It's the CM Punk show.
Sure.
And you know, as much as I'm not a crazy CM Punk hype guy or even Roman Reigns, the storyline is progressing the way it should be.
Mm-hmm.
It is teetering. These are your top stars, and you know, all as much as I hate to admit it, they're probably going to be Sunday night main event, which is fine because they're building it. They're adding the Usos, and they're also just like the Bloodline story before. People didn't like it, whatever. It added layers to people's, personality. And right now, Jimmy's the chill, don't fuck with me, vibe, and Jey Uso's a fucking loose cannon. He's about to fucking blow his top. But what's crazy about all of this is somehow, even though they're beating up your babyface champion CM Punk, they're still getting cheered. They're still babyfaces technically, and from way far off in left field, they're cool with fucking LA Knight, which is wild to me. I like the story. I like the progression. I like the progression because they're doing 3 stories in one. Mm-hmm. You have the Usos versus Punk versus Roman Reigns, and then you have LA Knight Usos versus Division. Well, what's left of it, at least.
Right.
So it's pretty interesting to see. I think we talked about this in the beginning of the year. WWE and AEW, let's be realistic, don't know what's going on. They don't know what direction they're going in, and they're scrambling because of obviously people getting hurt. Seth Rollins being one of the bigger ones getting hurt for that whole Vision storyline, and Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. But they're making the best of the situation. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking forward to it. It is heating up, as some might say. It is Texas. It's always fucking hot. It's always heating up here. Today outside it was 115. And I was fucking hot.
Sir,
walking around.
115. It was 94. Let's not over exaggerate. You were probably standing on asphalt. It was 94.
I was standing in asphalt in the direct sunlight. Yes, my fucking neck is a totally different color than my fucking. It is fucking hot. But you know what? I didn't have just nice, fresh, refreshing drink. Just nice, cool, refreshing drink. All hands. I might be fighting a motherfucker or two. I don't know yet. I don't know.
There you go. But it's funny when you mentioned the whole CM Punk Roman Reigns thing. I read something today that kind of, I don't know, in my opinion, it dampened things a little bit, but I wanted to bring it to the table. you've got Punk just running lines over fucking Roman Reigns, right? Cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not the fact that Reigns can't clap back, but a lot of the things that they want to use to clap back with, they can't. It's almost like he's being held back some. They're not bringing up his dead dog. Hurtful. They can't talk about his run in AEW. Hurtful. They can't talk about his wife because she's having a hell of a time. She's having a great time. A hell of a run right now. Short run, but still. That's that. There was something else also. But there's. Oh, he can't talk about Colt Cabana. AEW. Still doing stuff for them over there and whatnot. So there's all these extra things that is perfect ammo to just and just take down Punk with. But they're restricting all that because of all the ties it has with the other company. God forbid the big company talks about the little one and puts eyes on them. Oh, what are they talking about? Let's turn it on and watch. And there goes the viewership because they see how awesome it is. Excuse me. But I mean, you're kind of running into a position where you're kind of putting Roman Reigns back in the seat when McMahon was running it, suffering succotash.
Well, I mean, you kind of have to see it in I guess in a bigger perspective. Yes, Roman Reigns can talk about a dead dog. That's just a bad look, right? With PETA or the shelters, and that's Roman. That's not Roman Reigns'
Mo.
fucking like mo, right? You can't talk about his run, and because that's not his character. That's a Cody and fucking CM Punk talking shit to each other. That's a John Cena talking to fucking Punk and Cody thing. Like he can get away with that because he's brought up inappropriate shit at inappropriate times. So is CM Punk, so is Cody Rhodes, so is Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton is like a true fuck you heel. But you're right, Roman Reigns is kind of cornered into this weird little predicament because they want him to be the Cena in so many words, right? They want him to be the Cena. They already gave him the fucking longest fucking run in the world, a modern day run, and he just can't hit with that. So you automatically take off AEW, Colt Cabana, and whatever bullshit went on over there because it's got played out by Seth Rollins already. Seth Rollins has already played that part out. Then you don't want to talk about his wife because again you don't want to paint Roman Reigns in that light one, and you don't want to dumb down one of your fucking champions who's holding one of the prestigious women's titles. So you can't go that route.
Mm-hmm.
So you really do back yourself into a corner essentially, right? And all you can hit them with, and it does make sense.
You keep talking about my family. You won't say sorry, and you keep our family's names in your mouth. Get our family's name out of your mouth.
And what the thing is, like you can only do one thing, and it as much as people don't want to let it say it bothers them is you call someone fucking old. They're gonna kind of lean into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're gonna react. And you're gonna lean into that much as much as possible because even though Roman Reigns isn't much younger, he still is younger, right?
Yep.
And calling someone old, like me and you, I call you old. Okay, cool. Okay, big deal, right? 3 years older than me, whatever.
Birthday's coming up this weekend.
Right, yeah, exactly. You old fuck.
See, exactly.
Right, but
yeah,
but it doesn't hold as much weight when you're in the business of age, appearance, body type, like wrestling, right? Wrestling is you can be a veteran, but it doesn't mean you're good. You can be fucking you once upon a time were the best, but now people have superseded you, right? So like calling someone old has a little bit more meaning in wrestling because when Hulk Hogan got called out in TNA for being old, when Sting got called out for being old in AEW, they just kicked it up a notch. I think that's the whole point, right? To give Punk the ammunition to kick it up a notch. Even though we know he can go, he's proved it. He's proved that he can go. For the past couple of years, he's been back active in wrestling in general. I think that's the only route, unfortunately, that Roman Reigns, or they're giving Roman Reigns. I'm not saying that he can go tit for tat on the mic by any means. I can't say that because it hasn't been proven.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the only thing you can do to keep the story interesting. Because one wrong word or one wrong fucking play, and that doesn't become night 2 main event. It automatically goes away, right? So you have to kind of play up to it, and the only thing you can say is, "Don't talk about my family. I'm not fucking owed." That's just it. That's just it, because you can't talk about the fucking animal, you can't talk about the fucking spouse, and you can't talk about the history outside of WWE. You're in a situation where you're in a situation, and that's just it. So that's why I do like the involvement of will they, won't they, in the Usos, and then somehow being still baby faces with LA Knight. It brings a different dynamic, right? That's just the whole point. So, I mean, at some point we'll figure it out because we're 25 days away, like you said. So we got a little bit more than 3 weeks away to figure out what the fuck's going on, right? And
we do.
Apparently they're scheduled to make an appearance at every Raw moving forward from this point on.
Yeah,
so
only 3.
The story has to progress. Yeah.
There's only 3 Raw. Well, 4 if you count the one the night after.
Yeah. So we'll find out. I mean, that's all we can do. But that, again, that's just one storyline, because this Friday Randy Orton progressed his storyline, and Cody Rhodes has to have a rebuttal. So we're gonna figure that out tomorrow night. If there's any rebuttal from Cody Rhodes, is he gonna get redemption? Cody Rhodes is your ultimate white meat babyface. Who the fuck is he going to attack to hurt Randy Orton? He's not going to stoop low enough to attack his family. He's not going to stoop low enough to attack one of his friends, because they're all friends. Mm-hmm. So what does he do? So I think in all these big storylines, the only person who has a real uphill battle is Cody Rhodes, because he can't stoop to that level because of how he's painted himself in WWE. He is the fucking golden child. He is the man of the people. He is the white meat babyface, hands down. He is not a heel babyface. He's white meat babyface. Mm-hmm. I think he has the biggest uphill battle. So I'm more curious about how he goes about going that route. Mm-hmm. But again, there's a lot of story to be fucking told, and we're getting closer. And I am going to Vegas this weekend, and I want to know if there's any WWE shit set up already. Is there any fucking merch out there? Is there anything that I can buy now ahead of time?
Totally doubt
we'll find out.
Totally doubt it. Well,
I doubt it.
Well, I know there are wrestlers out doing different things right now. They put it out there. The C2E2 Chicago comic book convention. That's a popular one. Just like Wizard World that goes on out there. Both CM Punk and AJ Lee are making an appearance tomorrow. Over there, autographs, photo ops, all that good stuff.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. I wish I knew that earlier. I would have loved to have booked the flight, picked up some tickets, and gotten in line for it. Only $170 to get a photo op with him.
You won't.
Oh, it's too late. It's all sold out.
No, I'm saying you wouldn't have.
If I knew in advance. If I knew a month ago that Punk was going over there, I would have gone. I would have said shit. I would have said nothing.
I've been telling you, let's go to fucking Vegas just to go hang out before WrestleMania.
I would have said nothing to nobody. I would have been, and then came back with, "Hey, check out what I got." Where'd you get that Vegas from? Where you done with that? Yep.
Well, that wouldn't have been for me, but I would have been a little peeved that you didn't tell me about it. But speaking of which, outside of those 2 main storylines, did you see the Finn Balor interaction with Dominic Mysterio when he was going up against Penta for that IC belt?
He had an opportunity, and it got taken away from him.
I think we know what other WrestleMania match is going to be brought up, and that looks like it's leaning towards that.
So if it's them two, Dom and Finn, that's money. But make it interesting. Put the AAA up for grabs.
I agree because it wouldn't hurt Finn Balor, instead of going to NXT like he has before, right? And he became Prince Balor again. It wouldn't hurt to put the belt on him and him have a fresh storyline in AAA, and AAA could use the fucking star power.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong, fucking Dominic Mysterio has been doing a fantastic job as one of your bigger AAA fucking heels, or triple, as Chelsea Grew would say, triple
Mm-hmm.
champion, right? So it wouldn't hurt, but it gives like a nice little reset for Finn to start the year out, or start the reset, because it's not a new year, but WrestleMania is the reset for wrestling in general. It's a
It
new
is the new
year.
year. It is.
Yeah.
This is basically the start of the new year,
Yeah.
physical year. It goes on after. Okay, so where does that put Penta? Because the IC
That's
belt would have been nice also in a trios bout between the three, but are you still going to keep pushing on the Grandes to go after him?
I think you'll fade it out because, and I was thinking about this, and really was thinking about this, because in AAA, the Grande Americanos original, but the newest one, I would say, are really fucking heating up, right? The Mexican crowd really love the
Grande.
the Grande, right?
Yep.
They really love him because he's really embraced the culture. And if you heard his speech this past Saturday at just a regular AAA show, not a pay per view, when they were presenting
No,
him
it
with the
wasn't.
Rey of Reyes.
That was part two of the Rey Reyes.
Okay, well, when they presented him,
That's regular.
he said specifically, not giving away who he is, right? Because we still don't know who he is. We don't know who any of them are, but not giving away. He said you don't have to be from Mexico to be part of the Mexican culture when they love you so much. And he said it in Spanish, which is fucking kudos to that motherfucker, right? For fucking going the extra step to go to do that, and the fucking crowd loves him. Now, flip side, we talked about what's the best place to fucking have luchadors, and when what city you visit in WWE? San Antonio. San Antonio. They had the match with Penta and fucking Dragon. They had the match between Grande and the original Grande. But the crowd wasn't like, they don't have the same reaction they do in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they kind of bypass, that in these next 3 weeks, you kind of run through the storyline like, yes, the Grandes were going to have an opportunity against Penta, and then somehow in WWE Magic and fucking Smoke and Mirrors, you make it a big thing, right? Because Penta is your number one merch.
Don't close it.
He's the most toyetic motherfucker on your roster, and he has the fucking merch for the figures, the fucking shirts, the fucking masks, the kids, the fucking people love him. So it really is a fucking big thing. So I think you figure out a way to make him part of WrestleMania. Because if you don't have him in WrestleMania and he's just he can't be a SmackDown thing, but the night after WrestleMania, Raw and after Mania, it's just not going to hit the same way.
I think it
So
was kind of lackluster too that they had the luchadors here. Not to say that they don't belong here. Yes, definitely showcase them here. But the card was so stacked with all the bigger superstars that everybody already knew they weren't wanting to see them. So yeah, they got a good reaction. San Antonio never not shows love to the luchadors, but those fillers to get to the main points of the main card, they should have, if they put the other ones out, they could have done without them. Or if you didn't have the bigger star power on the card, they would have got more love. You would have heard more love from the crowd.
absolutely, absolutely, that's the shitty part, right? Because you assume because this is closer to Mexico and it's a Hispanic dominant crowd, that, oh, let me put the luchadors, but they paid, everyone paid the good money to see fucking Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Jey Uso. Like, I appreciate, we know San Antonio is a hot crowd regardless. Texas is a hot crowd in general for wrestling. So it's a wrestling fucking hotbed. So we know what we knew what you're gonna get, but at the same token, you're not far off by saying that because there other things were expected, like Brock Lesnar making an appearance, Roman Reigns making an appearance, CM Punk making an appearance, AJ Lee, and everyone else. You kind of like, well, this is awesome. It's a good match, but it's not what we wanted to see.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping they build a little more fanfare behind it, because there are a lot of fucking belts, right? Because I haven't seen. I yes, Carmelo Anthony does do a lot of things, but you didn't mute yourself.
I did.
Just
I
heads
thought I
up.
did.
Oh, you know what? I can hear you because of it's on the fucking thing.
Yes.
You muted yourself on the thing, but what I was saying is you got other belts that also need to be represented. You got the fucking U.S. title, men's and women's, because I haven't seen Julia doing shit. But Carmelo Anthony is putting in the work and he's fighting everybody. So kudos to him. I think he's going to end up fighting Dragunov either before WrestleMania, maybe
He
to make
already
a
did.
WrestleMania thing.
He just
He fought
did this
Dragunov?
past Friday. Yes, for the belt.
Oh, I didn't see that shit.
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay, so
hmm
I missed that. So he really did. So he
He called
retained?
him out and said, "You need to hurry up and take your shot because I'm not going to give it to you again."
Did he
And
retain?
yeah, Carmelo retained. It was a good match.
So do you think that. Okay, so I didn't
Time
see it.
to
So
move on and push Carmelo forward against a bigger name with that belt.
I think smart play. Smart play. We're talking about SmackDown. Who just came in to SmackDown? Who has a history with Carmelo Anthony, and the fucking crowd loves to sing his song.
Oh yeah, Trick Williams will probably be next in line.
And I would love to see it because they have a history.
Mm-hmm.
Trick Willie is hot. He is your former NXT. He is your former TNA world champion.
Trick and Nate.
Trick, right? And he will whoop that trick.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious on what they're leading up to. Is that going to be the Friday before WrestleMania, or is that going to be a WrestleMania moment? It is yet to be seen because there's a lot of storyline that needs to play out. And we talk about storylines being played out, but you also have Liv Morgan versus Stephanie McCurr, who just had a good little showing, shit talking, fighting this past Monday with Dom coming out and all
No,
this bullshit.
it wasn't no shit talking. It was just straight fighting.
Oh, straight
Stephanie
fighting, yeah, came and attacked her.
Dominic came out with Liv Morgan by his side, and they were coming out of his entrance. And Stephanie runs out of the back and fucking decks her and just drops her on the ground. And they just start going at it. And I watched something online, and they're like, "Dude, did you not notice that it was kind of hard hitting? That Stephanie came like full force, like crazy, crazy. It just like it had more impact because it looked like they really were beating the shit out of each other." Because of the way that Stephanie just came in full fucking force and the way that it lived through Stephanie on the fucking the video wall, that shit was crazy. But I thought it was hilarious that the video wall blacked out when Stephanie got thrown into it, but then later there was another match and somebody else got thrown into the wall and nothing happened.
You got to emphasize, little things here and there.
Oh,
Right?
you have
That's
to.
that's the key. That's the key. Emphasize to push your championship match.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that Stephanie calls Liv Beta, which translates into fucking dog or bitch,
Yeah.
right? So you'd love to see it. Love to see it. But again, I think I think that's gonna be I'm gonna call it right now. I think that's gonna be one of your sleeper matches at WrestleMania because although it has a good build, it's not getting as much attention as it would because the men are taking a lot of the limelight for everything right
It's
now.
about time. It's about time because the women have been carrying the shows.
Yeah, you're
I
not wrong.
feel
You're
that
not
the
wrong.
women have been carrying a lot of everything, of both SmackDown and Raw, to get us to this point on the road to WrestleMania. Because before, the men weren't really doing shit. Let's just be honest. The men were not carrying a lot of the weight like they should have.
But that's where I have a problem because you're right. The women put the majority of the work in, and now the men are kind of sleeping in. I think if the women had put this much work in, they should still get a bigger limelight because of it,
Yes.
right? So that's why I'm a little like, I'm looking forward to that match. That's probably one of the bigger matches I'm looking forward to.
Mm-hmm.
On top of the Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. That's still my number one, even though it might be a night one main event. That's still my number one currently.
Imagine if they just happened to switch both nights to where the men open the shows, world championships open the shows, and the women's world championships close the shows. Imagine that.
Then who would be night two in your opinion? Rhea, Rhea fucking Jade or fucking Liv and Steph?
Living stuff.
Agreed. There's a little more
Mm-hmm. A little more edge.
aggressiveness into that
Mm-hmm.
one. Yeah, a little more
Yep.
edge to it. Yes, absolutely.
Aggressive. Yep.
Eh, I'm. I don't know how you feel. Let me ask you a question. I'm lackluster about Jade and fucking Rhea. And Rhea's one of your bigger stars, and Jade is your champion. How do you feel about that match?
I feel that Rhea's going to have to slow down her pace. I feel that Rhea's going to have to eat a lot of Jade's bullshit and go through now her little faction. And I called that shit out. I knew it was going to
I
happen.
called it.
I knew that shit
I
was going to
called it.
happen because there
I
was
told
too
you.
many times. Well, I said it here at home that there was too many times that you see both Meechin and BFAB get beat every other week when they show them on TV or beat down or whatever by Jade, where it just becomes if you can't beat them, join them, and
Yeah,
that's what
and I
happened.
told you. I brought it up last week. I said the only way you can progress the story is you're gonna hide Jay's flaws because in AEW they hit it with the
With the
baddie
baddies,
section,
and now she's
right?
got a new baddie section here in the
She has a new baddie
WWE.
section, and I knew because Meechin and BFAB haven't done anything. They're just role players, right? And hey, no, nothing away from I don't care about BFAB, but nothing away about Meechin. Meechin is a former champion.
Mm-hmm.
She has a capability of being a champion, but you know what? We talk about this all day long. We're fucking diehard fans. I would be the fucking Brooklyn Brawler all fucking day.
Yeah.
All fucking day. You want to fucking talk down to me? You want to fucking beat my ass? As long as I'm on the fucking card and I'm on TV, cha-ching,
Mm-hmm.
cha-ching. I don't give a fuck. So I don't hate on BFAB. I don't hate on fucking Meechin especially. But that makes sense because you need to hide Jay's flaws. We know from just watching the product that Rhea Ripley, being the former champion, being a lot of champions in different things, can run circles around Jade. Right? We know that Jade has the appearance, and that's how they've been talking shit about that. She has the appearance. AEW made her look strong. She came in with a lot of gusto when she came to WWE,
Agree.
but they hid her flaws by putting her in a tag team
They
with
did.
Bianca Belair.
They did.
Made sense. Made
Mm-hmm.
sense. But you put a championship on her, and then you realized I can't have anyone beat her if I'm trying to build her up, either for Charlotte Flair, which I initially thought that was the main thing because they've been having a lot of face off, and then they just sprung this on us with fucking Rhea Ripley. So my thought process was, okay, well, we know that Rhea Ripley can fight, and we know she can probably beat Jade's ass, but you invested a lot of time and money into Jade that you need to give her a cushion. And the only way to give her a cushion is to have lackeys. That's just the way it works. That's just wrestling 101. That's heel 101. You let other people do the hard work and you slide in for the easy win or the easy kill, right? Edge had it with the Edge heads in
Mm-hmm.
fucking Cardona and fucking Myers. Fucking Randy Orton had it with Cody and DiBiase.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Triple H had it with Bautista and Orton.
Mm-hmm.
DX had it with the New Age Outlaws and X Pac. It's just a fucking tale as old as time. It is. So you want to build this matchup? Well, you give someone something to fight. What's the word? You got to fight up the hill, right? And the only person who can do it is not Jade. She has the belt. You have to make Rhea
It's
fight
gonna make her
up the
look
hill.
even stronger.
Exactly. And not only do you do that, you protect Jade Cargill and you don't expose her just yet, and you give TV time to fucking people who wouldn't have had it otherwise.
Do you think they're gonna? Do you think they're punishing Rhea, or do you think they're gonna make her take the L?
I don't think they're making her take the L, unless let me preface that with we don't know what's going to happen Monday after WrestleMania, right? I know it's a Raw. I know it's Raw. I know it's a Raw. It's Raw. We think, and you brought this up, and I'll give you some points on this one. You brought up, hey, what about Soraya, aka Paige? That'd be a smart play for AJ Lee. She's there, give her a little run. She beats Becky Lynch for the belt, and retains, and continues. Or you fucking leapfrog all that bullshit mid card, and guess what? Yes, Jade retains, and Soraya, aka Paige, makes her debut and beats her, just like what she did when she moved up from NXT. I don't know, right? It's just if if Rhea loses and they're punishing her, or they're kind of pushing the the notation that WWE likes African American wrestlers, because that's also been a thing or a topic of discussion of Alba Femi and fucking Javon Evans and all those other people. What? Who else to take the belt off for her? In a surprise return in Page, or a surprise, it have to be a surprise return or a call up, or maybe. And this is a hope, a fucking dream, a fucking glimmer in my eye. What if Chelsea Green just comes up and magically beats her?
Well,
I don't know.
She did get cleared to wrestle.
Exactly, and that's why I bring it up. So I don't know. I don't know how that plays out, and it's interesting, but unfortunately for this match, I also don't care as much or at all, really. Right? So that is the fickle nature of wrestling. That's the fickle nature of WWE trying to fucking cram everything at the last minute. Let's not take away that AEW does the same thing in so many words. They just have a lot more action to distract you from
that really
stories.
distracts me with everything is that you had Jade in AEW hold on to the mid card women's belt because it is what it is. Sure, it has the TV station logo on it, but it was a mid card belt, and she was Goldberg undefeated the whole time, but never had any real huge competition to really take the belt off of her because the women's champions didn't fight her for anything.
She only had three. She only had three real contenders, and one was Taya Valkyrie. She has history. She's a big bitch, and she can fight. You had, if you're talking about just status, you had Brandy Rhodes. And then you had the person who took the belt off of her, Chris Statlander, in her return. Those are only three real solidified personalities. I don't even say wrestlers. Personalities, because Brandy Rhodes, I won't consider her a full-blown wrestler, but wrestler personalities that she may have lost to. But outside of that, it was just they fed her Ring of Honor people, and they fed her, at the time...
Was it 60-0?
Lower cards.
60?
It was 60-0. Yeah, 60.
That makes no fucking sense.
I mean, look at Goldberg's run. You fucking compare it the same way.
But Goldberg did have a...
Goldberg versus Hugh Morris. Goldberg versus fucking Disco Inferno. Let's be realistic. Yeah. Come on. It is the same run. It's the same run.
Goldberg did have some good matches when he had the heavyweight title, am I right?
At the end.
Right. Jay didn't.
Because he was a champion. But when he was a U.S. champion, he lost by disqualification because they made it that way. He lost to Booker T, who was a better wrestler. Mm-hmm. He lost to fucking Buff Bagwell, who was okay wrestler. He lost to fucking Scott Hall, who was a better wrestler. He lost to fucking Six, a.k.a. X-Pac, better wrestler. But they played it off as they beat him and then they did something to get disqualified. That's the way they played off the Goldberg thing. They did the same thing with the fucking Jade Cargill because they gave her the baddies who, when she was losing and was getting exposed, they would run in and attack. That's just a smart play. And they're doing it again. It is what it is. Like, it's wrestling heel 101. It is what it is.
I get it. So, it's just undaunting that, Rhea should not lose to this because it would really, she can't afford that. I mean, she can afford the loss.
She can.
But you don't want that staple loss at WrestleMania.
But check this out. Check this out. 1-on-1, she can't afford that loss. 1-on-3, she can afford that loss. That's the difference.
Yeah.
That's what justifies her losing. It's hard to say in any scenario whether they were shitty or top face, top heel. When it's 1 versus 3, it's hard to justify that one person can beat all 3 people unless it's part of the storyline. Perfect example, Bryan Danielson fighting Triple H to get into the main event versus Bautista and Randy Orton. Mm-hmm. There's some momentum behind it. But to justify Rhea losing 1-on-1 to Jade Cargill when Jade Cargill technically has never proved herself in WWE or even in AEW, let's be realistic, hasn't proved herself. She is that bitch, but she ain't a good bitch. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So the only way you can justify it is Rhea Ripley has every obstacle in front of her. One, she's outnumbered. Two, she's not going to do heel shit to win, so that gives Jade Cargill and her little group the advantage. And three, the only person who has her back at this moment is Io Sky, and she has a little thing going on with fucking Asuka and fucking Riho. Or not Riho, fuck Kyrie.
Mm-hmm.
So you automatically already pull her away from that. So there's no one else. So you can justify Rhea Ripley losing to Jade Cargill if that does happen. You can justify it by saying, well, it's hard to fucking fight uphill when you're fighting against three people, not just one.
Yeah.
Unless there's stipulation. That's the only way you can go around it. But there's no stipulation as of this moment. So,
True.
So again, outside of that women's belt, I would prefer to spend more time on Liv Morgan and Stephanie McCurry because they are building a rivalry. This is I feel like this is something that's not going to be a one and done. This is going to be a run it back, run it back.
So
run it back.
You mentioned something nice there. I did read something also today, which made sense in so many ways. They're beating up on Stephanie, right?
Yeah.
They're beating up on Finn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what if there was a match to be made where you have the Demon Prince and then you have the Queen come out and she has some sort of face painted demon side as well, similarity.
I fucking already. I heard
versus,
enough. I heard enough. You say it, dude.
The demons versus the humans.
The demons versus the fucking Weta and the fucking fuckboy.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking. You don't even say it anymore. That's a match. Now, question: is this a fucking something you throw out prior or after WrestleMania?
After.
You save it for after.
After. If it's a feud, the feud will continue after WrestleMania. Because Triple H loves his long-term storytelling. So if you want that to keep going, that would be the perfect thing to build up, let's just say, for SummerSlam. Or before.
Okay. Let me throw you another question. Let's just say that we take out Penta out of this equation. Let's just say that Finn versus Dom for the AAA. And we already know that Stephanie versus Liv for the women's heavyweight championship. Who wins those matches to progress this story? Flip flop?
Yes.
Okay.
Finn with the AAA and Liv with the World Heavyweight.
Wild card. Does Roxanne Perez come back and help Liv or cost her?
Help. They're not breaking up. They're continuing on with the Judgment Day. They just did it without Finn now. So I don't think she's going to cost her anything.
Is she cleared to come back by a chance anytime soon?
Oh, Roxanne. I thought you were talking about Raquel.
Not Raquel. No.
You said Raquel. Roxanne? There's a possibility. But see, that is a wild card. That is a wild card because she doesn't fit the mold with her going. You know, I think it would pay off more if she stayed with the Judgment Day, and if they ended up doing something to her where they get rid of her. But it's more, Liv already gave her the moniker that she's with Raquel now. You earned it. If I'm going to go after the World Heavyweight, y'all need the fucking tag team. We need to bring those belts back into the fold. So I don't think they're going to get rid of Roxanne anytime soon.
Okay.
If anything, I think Roxanne gets cleared to come back, and she's the wild card that comes in and helps Liv win to help progress Stephanie hating on the Judgment Day, and they can have another match after Mania.
Since this Mania is again at Vegas, well, let's call it a betting odd. We know that Raquel's going to interfere, but does Roxanne come in a fucking hooded a hoodie and a fucking mask to
Oh my
help
god,
and
no,
get cleared that way.
no. She'll just come in like she usually does. I don't think she.
She comes out from under the fucking ring and helps Liv win with brass knuckles, or holds Stephanie's leg and then Liv gets a good the oblivion,
Yeah.
end of oblivion on her, right?
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
Mhm.
Well, I
Something
mean,
something to that effect where it's going to benefit Liv Morgan to win the championship. That is the ultimate screw over. And then I got I didn't get dusted by one, but I got dusted by the other, and I wasn't expecting the other to come back because she's been hurt and injured, and so they're not going to say she's ready. She's just going to be ready, and she shows up and she fucking comes and helps out. I think that's the smart play to do if you want to keep that rivalry going, where it's Stephanie versus the Judgment Day girls. That's the perfect thing to do. And then night after Mania, you have Stephanie versus Roxanne, or the week after that, it's Stephanie versus Raquel, and then I got to go through them to get back to Live, and that leads up to the next pay per view.
okay, cool. I mean, see, that's why the women have fucking been leading the fucking charge on running the fucking shows, because that storyline sounds way better than the Roman Reigns and Punk. And no lie, it doesn't hold a candle for, I guess, history with Randy and Cody, but everything else, I mean, it blows fucking Rhea and fucking Jade out the fucking water.
It
One,
does.
right? It supersedes all the men's mid card belts like pretty quick. So I'm just curious on how that plays out, and I would love to see how that plays out. And all we can do is just really wait and find out at this point in this moment.
I mean, what's one
But
of the only other bigger story right now that has no belt involved is Brock and Oba.
that's it right now,
You
as
you
as
you
of right
might
now.
end up having a bunch of non-title matches as filler matches. I mean, think about it. If you have Grande versus Grande, there's one match. Oba and Brock, there's another match. Who else would be fighting with no belts?
I don't know because the Usos
Uh,
might find a vision. Uh,
no, that's happening on Monday.
okay, what
They
about
they already have that set up for Monday.
Damian Priest and R Truth
They're
versus
the tag team champs on SmackDown now,
exactly on
so
SmackDown?
they'll probably be fighting MFT again.
Okay. Actually, I would say Solo versus the Wyatt Six and the MFTs versus the Wyatt Six because they're still holding the lantern.
Hmm.
That's another non-title match possibly.
Yeah,
So I mean, there's stories to be had at this point, right? But it's we got 3 weeks to fucking figure it out. They got to figure out. Not here's the thing: they got to figure out 4 days of wrestling. SmackDown, night one of WrestleMania, night two of WrestleMania, Monday after fucking WrestleMania. They need to figure it out because you know what? I mean, personally, I think last year was a pretty good SmackDown and Raw after WrestleMania, and a pretty good WrestleMania overall. But I think this year, because there's a lot of injuries and a lot of like not only injuries, but injuries that delayed storylines for a long period up until the last minute, that you really need to come up with something really strong. And I think after talking this out, I'm more interested in this fake storyline of fucking the demon and the devil, the queen devil doing something together, whatever it is, doing something together. I think I'm more inclined to see that happen than anything else. As crazy as it sounds.
hmm
So
it's crazy. It really is.
so
WWE is
I guess all
lacking.
we can do,
WWE is
yeah,
lacking. The only ones that can really pull last minute storylines together is AEW. Let's just be honest. You have a lot of guys that are vying for championships because they've been fighting and clawing their way through. But to have the long story that they're trying to push together and put together last minute, the only ones that can do that are AEW because they can easily slide that in a couple of weeks.
yeah, and AEW, I think, and we know this from experiences, they rely on storylines that happen in the indies or outside, and they can just build on it real quick, right? Because at the end of the day, they are about the wrestling, and it's not about the story
No.
as much. So they can build a story a little bit quicker, a little faster. But listen, this is not taking it away from AEW. They're fucking heating up. They are creating storylines right now, creating them.
Dude, everybody, I'm going to say this with a grain of salt. MJF right now is the best, what's it, world champion right now because he's a heel. I will give you your kudos. I will give you your sprinkles and stuff on your cupcake there for the fact that you've said it before and it makes sense every time. Having a heel champ and a bunch of people running after you and chasing you is better than having a face champ with maybe one or two people trying to go after you, because right now in AEW everybody is running after MJF.
And those stories are progressing quick, and I think we'll really touch on that on Tuesday this week
That's fine,
because
but just speaking
yeah,
out loud from watching Dynamite and some Collision or whatever the case, you got them on both hands, man. Kenny, Swerve,
Andrade,
Darby, uh, Darby, Andrade. Who else do they name in the hat? Brody, um,
Bandito again. He wants a
Bandito.
fucking their shot.
Uh, Anybody who's got a pulse that Kyle Fletcher. Um,
Mox,
I wouldn't put it past. Like
the
every
War Dogs or Dogs or whatever.
yeah, I mean, dude, like they talk about it, or they've been talking about it just about past couple episodes, that everyone wants a piece of the champ.
You know what? I want to touch on this before we sign off today. Did you see MJF call out Nick Nemeth?
What?
Did you not see that? Okay, let me
This is news to
get
me.
you up to speed. Let me up to speed. So Nick Nemeth, aka Dolph Ziggler, is one of the hosts on Busted Open.
Yes.
Right? He's also one of your current TNA stars.
Right.
Right? Former WWE champion. What all the accolades on that end. 20-year vet.
Best seller
With
in the business.
yes, the best seller in the business. Fucking hands down, Shawn Michaels 2.0.
Yep.
Right? Well, he's been very he. I don't know how to word this because I don't want to talk out of line. He hasn't really been critical of MGF, but he says that there's a lot that MGF can work on, and he says this not to fucking belittle him or demean him. He says it because AEW doesn't have a system, right, to kind of grow your stars. He's doing it on his own. Correct? We can we agree on that? That everyone at AEW does it on their own.
Yeah.
Right? And Tony Khan and kudos to Tony Khan for letting them do it, and they get over naturally on their own by their own merit, by their wrestling or their mic skills, whatever.
Right.
Well, he's been very critical of MJF, not talking down to him, but saying, MJF could do a lot more if he had the right system to help him grow because he's doing it with people who don't know where the hard camera's at. Let's be realistic, right? There's a lot of that. Or there's a lot of people who he's doing it with who have never had major TV exposure or fucking he's weighing himself thin because he's giving Zilla Fatu an opportunity at Hog Wrestling when he's an AEW champion. He's just being realistic, right? As a wrestling person, wrestling personality, and a wrestler, a tenured veteran.
Right.
And and just I think today or yesterday, MJF called him out on Twitter, said, "Hey, look, man, who the fuck are you to tell me what I am and not? I don't take a critique from Nikki from the Spirit Squad. You are not on my fucking level."
Oh damn, he went there.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah, he went there.
He
You're
went
not on
there.
my. He goes, "You're not on my level. You can't fucking hold me on the fucking mic, and I am pound for pound the best, well-rounded wrestler in the business, not AEW,
In the
in the
business.
fucking business." And the fact that you consider me a young Dolph Ziggler, because Dolph Ziggler was the up and comer once upon a time.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you consider me young Dolph is an insult not only to me but AEW. Now I'm wondering, is this the bridge? Because MJF goes off the cuff, he don't give a fuck. Let's be realistic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this the bridge for not necessarily TNA, but for Nick Nemeth to do a crossover with AEW or jump ship and actually be in AEW? Or it's just MJF being MJF. And it's hard to say because MJF is MJF and he will say shit just to say shit.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same token, from just seeing the history of social media with MJF, is MJF does appreciate wrestling. He understands wrestling. He understands legends. He understands
Hey
John
man,
Cena.
in
He
an
can acknowledge.
interview outside of AEW, he did give Kenny Omega his flowers.
Yeah,
He does. He
he did in
respects
his
the shit
tweet.
out of him, especially being that he was one that has many accolades without even touching WWE.
Yeah, and he's also, again, he's a company man because he said it before. I'm gonna fucking rep the company who pays me. That's just
Mm-hmm.
it. It's a job to me. I'm a wrestler who gets paid by a company to represent that company. The company who pays me is AEW,
Mm-hmm.
and kudos to him. That's the way you should do it. But he's also been on the record saying, "Hey man, John Cena. I looked at the John Cena. I looked at the Stone Cold. Of course, I study Roman Reigns. Like, you'd be a fool not to pretend that you don't watch the other product. That's stupid. You're an idiot. You're full of shit. You have to watch the product to grow. If you say you say you don't watch wrestling, then you're not a fucking wrestler because wrestlers watch the past, the present, and look to the future to grow. Right? It is what it
Correct.
is. So I bring it up because I'm curious to what this means. Is he just calling Nick Nemeth because he just fucking hates him? Which is interesting because his trainer fucking Brian Myers, aka Kurt Hawkins, is friends with fucking Nick Nemeth. They work together in TNA.
Mm-hmm.
Or is this Nick Nemeth? Is this MJF creating a bridge for Nick Nemeth to come over and fight and join AEW? I don't know. I'm curious because what MJF said isn't wrong, and what fucking Nick Nemeth said isn't wrong because Nick Nemeth never talked down to him, never said, "Oh, grab your bags, kid," or "grab my bags, kid." He's
Mm-hmm.
not saying that. He's putting him over, but saying he could do a lot more with a program. He never said he has to join WWE to get that program. He just feels like he could be a bigger champion if he had some, what's the word, like a blueprint to continue to grow to. And MGF's rebuttal is, "I don't need a blueprint. I am the fucking blueprint."
Mm-hmm.
I'm just curious what happens here. And like I said, obviously you didn't hear it, so I want to kind of hear your take on what do you think about
I
all this?
don't
What I just
think
told
it
you.
would be a bridge for it to be open due to the fact that TNA and WWE are very well connected now. Because it wasn't for WWE, TNA wouldn't have the current programming that they do now. So, if anything, it would be on Nick Nemeth's terms if he wants to go and nibble on that line, that lure that was sent out to him by MJF to, well, I mean, to wait till his contract is up to see, because I don't know how long the contract he has with TNA is.
He has a TNA contract which is always done in 6 month increments.
So,
That's what I'm saying. That's I'm
well,
curious.
yeah,
That's I'm
well, see, I
curious.
didn't know that, so that piques my curiosity to see if he will go ahead and step out of the limelight there in TNA and go to AEW. But Nick is older now. Let's be realistic. Does he still have it to go? I'm not saying he doesn't because we all know he does, but now you're going to be put under AEW limelight. You're going to have to really push out more because TNA he holds back a lot. Let's just
Yeah,
be real. You
yeah,
watch
yeah.
TNA, he holds back a lot. He'll do some of the motions of what he used to do in WWE before, but he holds back a lot because he's been doing more tag team stuff with his brother Ryan. He's been doing things with the group and stuff, and you only get so much time on TNA because of it being a short show and once a week. So would he? It'd be very interesting to see. I would love to see Nick Nemeth go to AEW and give it his all and come full guns a blazing. But is there room for him on the roster? I don't know.
It is an opposing question, and I want to touch more on it this coming Tuesday on fucking Top Rope Tuesday when we really get into more AEW because we're gearing up, no pun intended, because it is not the name of the pay per view, but we're gearing up the fucking Dynasty.
And you know what? I do want to put something out there. I made a boo boo, but it's because the information I read was wrong. Dynasty's date is different this year. It's April 12th, and that is the Sunday that basically kicks off WrestleMania week. Because right after that, you've got the Monday Night Raw before Mania, you have the shows that are coming up, the Dynamite after Dynasty, and then you've got WrestleMania weekend. So
So we are really this is going to be a fucking spring jump forward for the wrestling business. This is be realistic, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to WrestleMania. I'm looking forward to Dynasty, and we will touch more specifically on AEW because I really want to talk it. I want to talk about it, and there's a lot to talk about because we have barely scratched the surface. But we are gearing up towards WrestleMania. We're three plus weeks away,
Mm-hmm.
and we are only about 2 weeks away, give or take, to AEW's Dynasty. And I want to touch base on that. But you know what you can do is you can continue to like and subscribe. Follow us on all the socials at Beyond the Ropes 210. And of course, you can watch and listen wherever you get your podcast needs, YouTube, Spotify with video, Twitch, Apple Music, or Apple Podcasts, I should say, Amazon Music. Make sure to comment, leave us a fucking review, give us 5 stars, let us know, hey man, give us a comment. Whether you like it or not, let's talk shit. Let's have a conversation. Join in the chat every Tuesday and Thursday, mainly Thursday live when we're going live on Facebook, and we're gearing up closer to being live on YouTube. That is our ultimate goal. We're getting there, slow but surely, but we're getting there. But all you can do is stay tuned for more stories, more violence.
And don't forget, we are the podcast, The His Back Brother.
Woo!
Ooh, yeah.